Angeles will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
This is going to be pretty hard because I ain't never really thought about looking into my family history.
The Youth Ancestral Project began as part of the February 2011 Family Journeys Project, which was initiated by Alameda County, California District 5 Supervisor Keith Carson and his staff.
I'm Keith Carson, and I serve on the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, and I represent District 5, which is Albany, Berkeley, Piedmont, Emeryville, and about a third of the city of Oakland. Several years ago, then Mayor Ron Dellums, City of Oakland, and Congresswoman Barbara Lee and I were invited to go up to the Mormon Temple to research our family history. That was really the first time that I had even started to really think about my family history past my immediate family. And I found it was challenging because I didn't know where to begin. It was exciting because I started to find out about people who I was connected to and didn't know. And then I started saying a lot more needs to be known about our family history. And I wanted to be able to replicate that experience with other people, especially those in the African American and ethnic communities. Well, most of us kind of grow up, and unless you have a real talkative family and you're sitting around the dinner table every single night, you probably are disconnected from who you are. And you think of your family as those in your household and those on your block, as opposed to the fact that you come from a long lineage of individuals, some of them from this country, some of them from outside of the country. And to know who they are and what they were all about is really a part of finding out who you are. It really talks about what makes you up as a person and as your character. Many of us, especially for those in the African American community, we might have been here in the United States for a number of years, but for the most part, we really come from another continent. Some of us come from Africa, the continent of Africa, which is massive in terms of its size. Some of us come from the islands, and then we find ourselves here. But we have a history. There was something that happened before us, and we're connected to it. And this gives us the ability to find out about our history and who we are hundreds of years ago. One of the things we found out through the Ancestry Project, which is the name of the project, is that a lot of times there hasn't even been a lot of inter-family interaction. We were at McClymonds High School, which is kind of the first launching pad for the program, and individuals didn't know who their immediate family really was. It might have been disconnected from a father or a mother, but an uncle or an aunt or a grandparent, and it kind of forced them to kind of research their immediate family, meaning 10 years beyond their age group. And we found that some of that was challenging. They didn't know how to approach a grandparent. They didn't know how to approach an uncle who may not have lived in the household. And it started to form a connection in terms of, tell me a little bit about who you are and tell me how we connect with each other. And tell me about my parents, or tell me about your brothers and sisters who are my parents. And we found that that experience started to excite people, that I'm bigger than just me or my immediate four walls that I reside in. I'm bigger than just this community. I have connections all over the United States and all over the world, and there's a history behind who I am. I'm not just one individual.
Project participants were taught how to interview their relatives and fictive kin, use online genealogy research tools to find ancestors and living family members, and to utilize writing and creative skills to tell their collective family stories. Sessions would take place with one set of sites during the spring and alternate to those remaining during the fall.
When I first started this project, I thought it was going to be kind of fun because I always wanted to know about my family history, know a lot about family like that.
Members of area genealogy societies facilitated weekly workshops and discussions with youth, teaching them the basics of family history research and engaging them in discussions about history and how it relates to their lives.
Family is important. Everybody's got a different family structure. I mean, some people are alone, they don't have any family, but everybody has ancestors. So everybody's got a family out there somewhere, you just may not know them.
your goal today is to find something. And if you do find something, what we hope is that you can get back to the 1930 census. Because if you can get back to that census, then you can go back further and further and further and further. Youth were also taken on field trips to research libraries and museums and engaged in science through learning about genetics and how it plays a role in one's lineage. Youth shared their knowledge by mentoring local elementary students and by sharing their findings with elders and community members in public community presentations. The first groups to participate in the program were high school students involved in Oakland's McClymonds High School's Culture Keepers Mentorship Program, former and emancipated foster youth in the Alameda County Beyond Emancipation Program, and young African American men at Berkeley Technology Academy and Alternative High School. In subsequent years, the program continued with Culture Keepers and also included youth involved in the Alameda County Probation Department Weekend Training Academy, also known as WETA, youth involved in MIDRASHA in Berkeley, a Jewish community school, and students in the Life and Science City after-school group at Life Academy in Oakland.
I am CORNISHA Williams, and I'm going to find out about my grandmother and her roots.
At first I was discouraged because I'm thinking that my family didn't tell me anything until I got on the phone telling them that I'm doing my family tree. Then they got excited, giving up names.
I'm not far at all. For the last, 2 months now that we've been meeting, or 1.5 months, I've only come to find out my grandparents' full name and birth date. So I guess that's like my starting point now.
Especially for death certificates.
Yeah.
You're going to have to physically go out and search for this information. It is not going to fall in your lap. You know, the thing that I would tell you is don't, you may not be able to fill in everything on a sheet of paper, but there might be one piece of information that you found out that could totally change your life.
I thought I wasn't going to find them, but as going on Ancestry.com, I got all the way back to the 1930 census and found my great-grandma Lucy and my great-grandma Odessa.
Hello everyone and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Barbara Rogers. Have you ever thought about your heritage, where you've come from? Well, we're going to be talking about an Ancestry Project with Kristen Antoine. She is a student at McClymonds High School. She is a part of the Ancestry Project and also of Culture Keepers. Thanks for stopping by today to talk about that. First of all, tell us, what is Culture Keepers?
Culture Keepers is a cascade of mentorship where from McClymonds go over to Hoover, and we help tutor them. We help them with behavioral problems and stuff, like do icebreakers and workshops on respect and responsibility. Do alternatives in action, like at McClymonds, it's 9th and 10th graders. It's mandatory for them to participate in after school programs. So I just looked at all the programs, and one of my friends referred me to Culture Keepers, and then that's my second year in the program. So, yeah.
And then through Culture Keepers, you got involved in the Ancestry Project.
Yeah, everybody got to do a community impact project for alternatives in action.
Tell me about the Ancestry Project. Ancestry
Project is we went to the Mormon temple, and we got on Ancestry.com, and then we just typed in our family names, where they was born, the city and stuff. And so yeah, we get to look on the census, the 1930. And my grandma too, but my mom's from New Haven, Connecticut. And I found my great-grandfather's, his parents, because my Nana, she didn't know. She was married to him, but she really didn't know about his side. But I found them, and their name was Sam Sherman, Alma C. Sherman.
One never really thinks about being a grandma, but honey, I'm not only a grandmother, but I'm a great-grandmother too, so much to my surprise. It's cool. It's cool. It's nice to be able to walk around with your great-grands. They teach you things, and then you teach them. I love my mom. She's a good person. And I'm blessed to have her around still. She's 87. We got 5 generations living. So our family got that strong blood, seemed to be able to stand the test of time.
I am at Hoover Elementary School in West Oakland, and we are
working with a group of students that have been infusing a little bit of the genealogy that we're doing in McClymonds to kind of connect each other, ourselves, and knowing who we are.
I love my family.
And what is it about family that you love?
That they take care of me and they love me also. We went to go visit my family. One time we went to go to my uncle's family, my great-great-uncle family. And we all just spend time together.
It's important to a kid to have a family because he don't have nobody to care for him.
Alternatives in Action, a nonprofit focused on youth development, eventually became the custodian and manager of the project. As of December 2013, the project has reached more than 300 youth in Alameda County and continues to grow.
This year, the Culture Keepers, which is our mentoring program, has partnered with Supervisor Keith Carson's office to produce the Culture Keepers Ancestry Project, which is part of the Alameda County Ancestry Project. Today, you will see their presentation of what they've been doing this semester to prepare.
They started off in Memphis. John married Maddie Edwards. And Emma, then they had Emma Hazel, that's my great-grandmother. And they had my mother, Felicia Myers, who married Donald Lane. And together, they had one of the greatest, me.
This project links all of us together. So far, we started off with an African American population focused on youth. Focused on young people, and we have broadened it to include those of the Spanish-speaking community, Asian community, the Jewish community. We're branching out to the Muslim community and others to kind of say, do you know who your immediate family is, who your extended family is, do you know anything about your history? But then you start to say, well, wait, we live in an interconnective community. And we find out that there are sometimes shared experiences and shared histories. And the fact that we may have come from a different continent, there are some things that are consistent in terms of who we are and our behavior. And that really starts to make for not just an understanding of who the individual is, who the family is, who your neighborhood is, but it gives you a better understanding of how we connect with each other, irregardless as to whether it's a young lady or a young guy, regardless as to the age of the person or their religious background or their ethnicity, that there is some connections there. But it also makes you proud in who you are as an individual, but also understand that you're connected with a bigger community, and that community is the world community.
It's for me, because I want to know, but it's for my kids and their kids and their kids and their kids so they can know their history.
Black history, it's about you, it's about me. What you know about black history? It goes back farther than your eyes can see. James Brown was soul brother, #1. He did way more than sing about having fun. He sang to the crowd, I'm black and